have you found? What is ways you found to not be leading alone, to really be leading together in this time where there's been a lot of distance?
Yeah, I will say being in a large agency, I do have a little bit of luck in that there's a lot of people around.
Mm-hmm.
So the people are there, right? But I have found that it still takes the guts to yourself to say, hey, I need to run something by somebody, or I need an opinion on this. And so that's still a bit of a challenge, right? Because there's that vulnerability piece there. And so it just really takes building a culture where those questions are okay. And luckily we have it. But even if not, and I know this is the other stretch, right? But even if the culture isn't quite there yet, then it just takes one or two folks really to kind of just start that and really be able to say, hey, look, I need some help here. For me personally, too, in this new position, it's interesting. It's just kind of a shift from where I've been. I've been in the organization for over 20 years, but it's completely new. And so even there, I need to display this now. I'm having meetings with my team members now and just really asking them all, how are we doing things,
Mm-hmm.
and when they ask me now, even they're like, hey, this is our process, should we change it?
Mm-hmm.
Um, i i say kind of jokingly in this same tone, and they know I'm serious. I'm like, hey, I'm way too new to sit here and say we should change a process, right? I mean,
Mm.
obviously this has been working for a while. Unless you think there's something wrong with it, tell me. And it kind of in a way calls our systems to mind, right? Our thought a lot of times is there's someone new in positional power, let's see if they want to do something differently. And this kind of turns it around a
Mm.
bit sometimes. And so I think even some of those actions can kind of help build that same culture where it's okay to sit and ask questions and have other folks give input on things.
I love that. I feel like the sitting and asking questions when you got into a new position where people are saying, okay, is everything going to be pulled apart now? And you're like, well, I don't know. Let's talk about it. And what do you think? It's interesting because I think maybe one, people seeing someone move into a different position, like you're saying, that leadership change makes people feel like, okay, well, no matter what, a bunch is going to change. And in a position, your position's title has equity in the position title. And I think people assume then that immediately means that a bunch of things are going to change.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting response for you to be like, let's talk, instead of I'm coming in here and yes, let's just change a bunch of policies and procedures.
Yeah, and that equity piece too, it's really different. Listening to Rihanna talk about it, it's like, I want to be there one day too, right? Where we can honestly say it's always in everything we do. But I think we honestly are in the same place a lot of organizations are, right? Still kind of learning and probably behind the curve of what we see around the world right now. And so that's kind of hard too, because I think there's this innate desire to catch up, right, to see where we need to
Mm.
be. And even as I've thought about this role, there's this duality piece to it. On one hand, I want to be in a certain place, like I want to hit the accelerator, I want to push us forward, right? There's all these places where I think we could have gotten to, and then I
Mm.
have to stop myself and say, but I can't get there in 3 days without losing everybody, right? And so there is a bit of that, kind of pulling back a bit and building some of those structures so we can actually say, yes, let's review this commitment every time and not have it be like that thing we have to do at the beginning of every meeting, right?
Mm.
So it'll take a while to build, and Rehan's gone there. Yes, acknowledging there's always work to do. That's a piece of the humility that we're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
But still, kind of managing that. And the reason I say that's a duality too, because there's a piece that just says, am I a product of having worked in government for so long that I think everything has to be slow? And so that's that internal challenge. But then reconciling that with that is the culture of the organization right now. And so again, having to work within that and slowly make some adjustments there. And I mean, that's, I'm just speaking for a large organization. I can imagine that could be anywhere, any size
Mm-hmm.
organization.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a while and sometimes not as quickly as we would like, right?
Mm-hmm.